Good morning readers. I, Harish Budu, warmly welcome you to my channel. Learn as much as possible from my handwritten articles. This 28th March 2021 opinion paper. Reputation of Mauritius at stake in all Islamic countries, with the 240 million rupees Saudi Arabia gift to holy mosques and Islamic affairs in the 1980s, Libyan money was looted. Share today's paper to wake up the nation. Why should I be in the same basket as others? No politicians at Belle Terre, no eulogy. Beware, bank accounts were manipulated. In the 1980s, Libyan money was looted by militant movement Mauritian. We apologize, we will add 3 more pages today. Act now, Mr. Prime Minister, if not, you too will be sucked in. Soodhun had negotiated oil supply. Who authorized? Reputation of Mauritius at stake in Islamic countries. Soodhun had threatened to kill Duval in 2017. The Director of Public Prosecutions can open an inquiry of his own. It is Sunday, 28th of March 2021 today. For us, the week starts this day. We had a good rest yesterday. We woke up by 4 a.m. That because we have to submit this paper by 12:30, to the administrators, for them to scan and post it. Anyway, that is all but an introductory paragraph. Welcome. Remember the usual piece of advice. Read with an open mind plus judge for yourself and draw your own conclusions plus share the paper and be the candlelight which gives or shares its light to others free. Have a great Sunday. Stay at home. Do stay safe. B. In case I die, I have written to the Speaker so that 1. No mention is made of me and my death, at the National Assembly or elsewhere, by the Prime Minister or by any other politician. And no eulogy should be delivered, whatever be the conditions. For that, I had written to the Speaker, sometime in 2018 and both Mrs. Maya Hanumanji and the clerk had acknowledged receipt of letter. And the present Speaker, Honourable Soodhun Fakir, had also rung me to discuss that issue and 2. No public building or place should bear my name. For that, the 2018 Speaker had referred my formal request to the Secretary to Cabinet. It is so now. My demand is unusual, nay, abnormal because some living top politicians have fought tooth and nail to have their names immortalized. Remember the shameful and horrible 500 rupees and 20 rupees currency notes of 1992. 3. In other words, my family and friends will see to it that no politicians touch my coffin. It will be for our Facebook and YouTube friends to take charge. That is all but en passant. Truth be told, I now feel relieved to have confided in you all. And experience has proved that in this mad world of materialism, you should trust less than 1%. See, lesson from my mother. 1. Rewind to pages 6, 7, 8 of last 25th of March 2021. We had warned our young friends to be positive-minded with a can-do frame of mind. In brief, they should never fall victim to inferiority complex. That was indeed the salutary lesson from my late mother. 2. But regrettably, that sense of deep-rooted inferiority had consumed me for quite some time. Take but a few glaring examples. In the 60s and 70s, I was often not thought fit and sociable to eat with some people. At Morcelment St. Andre, in 1974, I was made to feel inferior, low-grade and mean among a group of Indian graduates. In 1989, Dr. Arvind Bulal greeted and met only Sarita, whilst I was standing just by her side. In 1992, the then Judge Vinod Bulal had himself given a short note of the then CJ, Victor Glover, and he himself was on the bench, along with Judge Rajzuma Lalla, to send me to jail. In 1976, soon after the December general election, there was terrible pressure to force me to resign my seat, to bribe me, just because I was not thought fit to be a member of the Legislative Assembly. Because of my village and social origins, and simple way of life. Little wonder, I was physically attacked in 1977 at the seat of the Labour Party, etc. etc. 3. All told, listen, young friends. Follow the advice of my mother. Never develop any feeling of being inferior. Avoid people who are born and groomed to think that they are or they should be superior, greater, higher, first class, more intelligent and a cut above, etc. Stay far away from them. We will continue later. The only mantra to outclass, to beat, to outrank and to overshadow them is hard work. Believe you me. D. Students' Corner. Consider but 8 phrases of the British Broadcasting Corporation World News from my diary, and please note we have added some from Longman Dictionary. The long struggle to end slavery in Mauritania. The slaves were made to think that they were born into slavery. They were sold into slavery. The slave owners reminded the slaves every day that they were born to be slaves and should obey them. And the slaves thought that it was their duty to satisfy their masters in every way. The slaves were told that God had created them to be slaves. They blamed history and not the slave owners. Legal property of E. A two-tier system in broad daylight, 1975 to 1984. Libyan money for Muslims, 220 million rupees of Navin Ramgoolam. Saudi Arabian money for mosques and Islam. 1. The title and the 3 subtitles speak volumes. They are pregnant with meaning. True, it is a very sensitive issue. Many will be afraid to talk or write about it, or even think of it. 2. Come 1983, I could have lost my life when I had denounced Asian Codebugs and the militant movement. Mauritian ministers looting Libyan money, meant for the holy mosques. They had threatened to kill me when I had stopped the sacrifice of a cow on the then militant movement Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation television. None has been shown since then. Long story short, I am not at all afraid to write on the 240 million rupees of Saudi Arabia, intended for the sacred mosques and Islamic affairs. I have lived my life. 3. The following information is very disturbing. Inside News is known to be a militant social movement agency. On 4th March, Shokatli Soodhun is reported to have held a meeting with some mosque leaders, concerning the 240 million rupees donation from Saudi Arabia. Inside News referred to same on last 8th March. And then on 25th. L'Express even went further and asked why Soodhun is no longer in the Holy Land of Islam. The militant social movement mouthpiece Inside News cannot lie. 4. On the 6th of February 2015, the Jugnauth police discovered 220 million rupees in Navin Ramgoolam's coffers. He was arrested like a vulgar criminal. After 6 years, the case is still not settled. 5. But the present 240 million rupees Saudi Arabian donation, for the sacred mosques, is 1,000 times more serious than the 220 million rupees of Navin Ramgoolam. Simple and direct though awkward questions come begging. In stark contrast to the arrest of Navin Ramgoolam, why nobody has been arrested, or no police inquiry has been opened, or the Prime Minister has been deaf and dumb, or the Director of Public Prosecutions has taken no action, or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has issued contradictory statements on Soodhun and Saudi Arabia, or the Muslim authorities have not demanded an inquiry, etc. etc. All the above questions are staring in horror and disbelief in the face of the Prime Minister and his police. Even then, the Director of Public Prosecutions could have opened an inquiry of his own. 6. We apologize for adding 3 more pages today. That because the reputation of our country is at stake, not only in the Holy Land of Islam but also in all the Islamic countries. The Prime Minister should act now immediately. If not, he too will be sucked into the scandal. Soodhun has become a danger to him, to Islam, to Mauritius and to himself. Stop the gangrene now, Mr. Prime Minister. And not tomorrow. 7. And finally, consider the following points. On last 18th of July 2017, Soodhun had threatened to kill Xavier Duval on the Saudi Arabia issue. When Libyan money was looted in 1980s, Asian Codebugs and the militant movement Mauritian had kept quiet. Soodhun had traveled in Saudi's private jets and negotiated for oil supply. When he was Minister of Lands, I had provided evidence of fraud, but he did nothing. In the 1980s, bank accounts were manipulated. To be continued. Keep reading, keep learning. Like and subscribe for more thrilling articles. Thank you for watching.